Dire à tout le monde, merci à tout le monde qui avait la confiance dans moi, de tout mon collègue, merci à tout le groupe, tout mon concurrent, tout le groupe de Tour de France cette année, le sport et cyclisme. sont vraiment une expérience incroyable. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's had faith in me, in my career.
Oh boy, you can tell they're all Australian now.
From my teammates, my friends, my colleagues, and also my competitors and everyone here for the 2011 Tour de France. I think it's just been a beautiful race, and thanks to these two brothers here, we really, I think it was a fantastic experience for everyone involved. And I couldn't be happier than to be standing up right here in the middle here.
Well said, Cadel. Paid due homage there to the Schlecks who made this the race of a lifetime for him.
No, that was a brilliant performance by the Schlecks in the mountains, and I think it was Cadel, I think now can savour this as being one of the most exciting tours over the last few years. Andy Schleck was brave enough when he thought he'd lost the Tour de France to make an incredible breakaway of 60 kilometres. Cadel Evans knew that that was the point. He had to take responsibility and chased him down. Andy Schleck had a 4-minute advantage. Cadel chased him back and pegged back 2 minutes, and it was those 2 minutes that probably at the end of that stage to the summit of the Galibier gave him the overall victory. Then he knew going into the time trial that he had the confidence to pull it all back, and as he said, over the last 4 kilometres or so he savoured the victory, knowing that he'd got time between himself and Andy Schleck and Frank Schleck.
Schleck is still young, that's Andy. It's only his 4th Tour de France, 11th in the white jersey in his first Tour de France in 2008, 2nd ever since. One day that win will come. Christian Prudhomme, the man on the right of that picture, is now far right of our picture, the organiser of the Tour de France, Jean-Etienne Amery, the president of the organisation as well.
And the head of a very powerful family Amery organisation, not only owning the Tour de France, but many other of the great sporting events around the world, like the Paris-Dakar and the Marathon of Paris.
Also here in the presentation too, David Ritchie, who is the ambassador to Australia here in France. And that is Prudhomme. He said the kindest things about the victory of Cadel Evans before the stage started. He said he was such a high personality in the world cycling. He had to be a winner of the Tour de France, and he witnessed one of the greatest races he's been the boss of.
No, certainly you see the wind is still a little bit blustery there. The last few moments for the photographers to get themselves some pictures. What a magnificent backdrop for Cadel Evans, and he will savour these photographs, Phil, for many, many years to come.
I think they're bringing the Luxembourg ambassador out here at the moment. No, this actually is the Australian ambassador here who's been brought out. This is David Ritchie, and he's got a good word to say as well, although I think he's the ambassador of Luxembourg at the moment, and that's why he's giving so much attention to the Luxembourg riders. He's been brought out especially. I think that's a nice gesture.
Andy et Frank Schleck sur le podium à la 2e et à la 3e place, on imagine.
Well, the next award, the next presentation will be for the best team, and that will be the American team at Garmin-Cervelo. As we look at the strongest 3 riders of the Tour de France this year, Cadel Evans in the middle, surrounded on either side by Andy Schleck on the left and Frank Schleck on the right. And what a great battle it was over the last 3 or 4 days, especially the days in the Alps.
The Schleck's anxious, I think, now to step down and leave Cadel as the champion. Frank has just moved off. He's gone to his baby, a young champion of Luxembourg. He's got the champion's jersey on as the road champion of Luxembourg. I think it's a she. She likes the flowers.
Yeah, just born in the early part of the season. I think Frank was away at the time, racing the difficult life of a professional cyclist. As Cadel Evans enjoying this little moment now as we wait for the presentations to continue. But those 3 guys, they really have have made this a momentous Tour de France this year. I have to say some of the breakaways that we saw were quite iconic and legendary.
A final applause to the three champions of the 98th Tour de France. One from Australia, two from Luxembourg. The first time an Australian has ever conquered the journey around France in the month of July. So, as Cadel steps down with the Schlecks, there is still the team award to come. Now I wonder if Craig Hummer can crack this one. This will be a challenge as Cadel walks down. As we gaze down on 50 tons of paint on that. Now, Andy Schleck with Craig.
Andy, I know you came into this year's tour with the attitude, the top step or nothing, but how proud are you of the fact that you just made a historical first to stand there with your brother?
I mean, feelings you get through when you stand up there, look behind you and the crowd, it's unbelievable. And I look over having my brother on the podium in the hardest sports event of the year, Tour de France, and it's just amazing. I mean, I came here to win, but I have no regrets and I won't go home as a loser.
On that note, I know hindsight is 20/20, but in the moment, is there anything looking back on these past 3 weeks that you maybe would have done differently?
I don't really think so. I mean, the race has been perfect, and there's only one who can win. There's 180 on the start, and only one can win, and that's Cadel, and he deserves also this victory. He's been fighting for it. I was fighting too, but he was stronger.
We know you'll be back.
I'll be back.
Very, very nice, and we'll quickly go on to the podium now, but well done, Andy Schleck. Garmin Cervelo, the dream continued from the day on day 2. They won the team time trial. The whole team has finished here. And as we look at them, I'll just give you, there's Tor Hushoff there of Norway. We've got Tom Danielson, the highest placed American rider, Julian Dean of New Zealand, Tyler Farrar, the sprinter from the States, Ryder Hejerdal, the only Canadian, David Miller of Great Britain, Ramus Navadauskas of Lithuania, Christian van der Velde, and Dave Zabriskie, who sadly wasn't here. He crashed out with a broken wrist, and that is a great shame. So I think there is a cutout of Dave there. It is on the right next door to Jonathan Walzer. His face is obscured at the moment by Tommy Danielson's flowers, but that's a nice thought by the team. They haven't forgotten you, Dave. Smiles of Tor Hushoff. So, as I said earlier, Dave Zabriskie crashed out of the Tour and with his broken wrist. But right now, let's get back to Craig because he's now got